Following this show, it's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. And I thought, let's pop Don on because Don and I really are the OGs here.
That is right.
I don't hear Don. Nope.
That's all right. We're testing all this out here.
Yeah, it's all new to us. People are running in. How about that one? Try that.
Hello.
Yeah, no. Well, they're moving you physically. There it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to the mic that was closest to the button.
You know what?
Wrong button, wrong mic.
It's not quite intuitive yet, but the reason that we're the OGs, this is the fourth home of ESPN New York, and we have experienced every single one of them.
That's right. We went from 2 Penn Plaza,
which was right above the Garden. That was great location.
That was terrific.
Yeah.
Then to 125 West End.
Right off the West Side Highway, which was very good.
To 147 Columbus.
A little more difficult.
And I don't know, do we mention the
southern
address?
tip of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in all the years ago, and I've been coming into the city since I was, could drive. Went to the Village and obviously going to Yankee Stadium.
And you'd come here to drink too when you were underage.
No.
I've heard
there
those
were places
stories.
in Jersey. Well, but there were places in Jersey that we would go. But no, you go to Bleecker Bob's in the Village or something like that. But I don't really have that much experience in Lower Manhattan. I think I went to the World Trade Center once. It was for the CMJ convention when I was in college.
What CMJ?
The College Music Journal.
Oh, okay.
And went there to get a bunch of IDs from metal bands back in the day. And maybe a handful of times here or there. So I really don't have a lot of knowledge.
So this is new for you.
This is very new. It's
right out of the
different.
Holland Tunnel. We'll give you more of a clue where it is. Right.
And
out
I'm
of
from Jersey. I've exited the city through the Holland Tunnel whenever the Lincoln Tunnel was backed up or something. But this might be the second time I've ever driven into the city through the Holland Tunnel.
I did today.
Yeah, I could see where that could happen.
Yeah, I'm a moron. That's why.
No,
and also there's all construction.
There's a lot of construction. You get stuck in places where they've got those, whatever you call them, those plastic little pillars, and you can't cross through different lanes, and you got sucked in.
Yep.
But the first time was just about a year and a half ago for Peter's wedding. I came through the Holland Tunnel.
That's true, yeah.
So I haven't been around here, but I got to tell you, since COVID, we have not been around our sales staff, a lot of the different people that in management. And this has, you know what I first felt when I walked in here?
WKRP?
No. The social network.
Oh, interesting.
You remember, the whole layout there?
It's very open.
Very open.
Yep.
Hanging with people that I haven't seen in a long time, people that we've worked with but haven't had a chance to really see. So this is really awesome.
So you like it?
I like it a lot.
The studio is very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Now, we're having a little difficulty if you're listening to the show. So when I pick up a phone call, because on hold, you're not hearing the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't know when they're on the air. So you'll hear a lot of, hello, you're on the air. So that's why what's happening. Still working some bugs out.
All right, so every call is going to sound like Richard of Manhattan, where there's going to be...
Well, I banned Richard today.
Wait a minute.
No, he's gone.
How do you not leave with that?
No,
what happened?
He's banned for the rest of the week because this is 3 times he's done it in 3 weeks. Calls in, you go to the phone call, and he's not there. Maybe drilling a tooth, root canal, whatever. He's not there. I can't have that happen to my show. So he's out.
Well, I don't think he's ever done that to us.
Yeah, he's done it. Ray,
that's disrespectful.
What I want you to do, Ray Deanhan, our producer, I want you to tell him when he calls tomorrow, you've been banned for the week. See if it even affects him. Because you're not there when we pick up. You're out for the week. See ya! I wonder if it'll affect. I know that Peter's now a big Richard of Manhattan fan.
Yeah, we go to him every day.
Yeah, and I don't think you
become
are.
A thing. I take it as it comes. Sometimes he's good. A lot of times he's awful.
Right.
He's still worth the call. It's entertaining, but he's like talking to my dead father through me. Oh, your dad will appreciate this.
Oh, interesting.
Or your dad would have loved this.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like an obscure story from the 60s that doesn't hold our audience.
Are you concerned about both New York teams' quarterback situations?
What quarterback situation?
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the situation.
Tyrod Taylor versus Tommy DeVito?
Unbelievable.
That's what it looks like. Now, I guess the Giants will end up with, I think, a draft pick, you hope. Unless Tennessee ends up taking a quarterback, they should have at least a choice of one of them. I keep hearing Cleveland's definitely taking a quarterback. I don't know which one they would take. But if Tennessee takes a quarterback, then
But do you take a
one.
quarterback if you don't want it? If
no,
you don't like
no,
them?
you don't do that. That's why I'm baffled by the Giants, and I'd love to get your opinion on this. Is that by kicking the tires on Stafford, which apparently those rumors were true.
Oh, yeah.
They were
came
willing
an
to pay him
agreement, yeah.
$50 million a year.
Yep.
That tells me you're not interested in the quarterbacks because you're not going to draft a quarterback and have Stafford be your QB at $50 million a year for the next 3 years.
Yep.
And then you don't get Stafford, and now you all of a sudden want the quarterbacks? Like, if you want the quarterback, why would you take Stafford? You take the quarterback, right? Or you'd sign Rodgers or Wilson to mentor the young quarterback. The fact that they were in on Stafford tells me they're not interested in either of these quarterbacks.
They're not in love with them.
But
because
at three, I got to love them.
I know, but because Mara put them in a desperate situation, they might just have to take one of them that they don't love.
Well, you say desperate situation. Are they desperate to get a quarterback, or are they desperate to win games this year to save their job?
They're desperate to win games.
So then you're looking at Rodgers or Wilson to be their starting quarterback to win the allotment of games for you to be able to keep your job.
Yeah.
Because I'm all over the place with this because John Mara said, I thought it was wrong. I thought we should have moved on.
Or given him an extension.
Exactly. Everybody argues with me. You're the only one that agrees with me with that.
That's the only way to go.
Because you can't. Even Jordan Ronan, we had him on, and he's like, why would you give him a contract extension? Because you got to show that you believe in these guys. To have them be in their walk year in 26 with a young quarterback where now you can let them go and then you're going to have a new regime for your young quarterback. If you say that you believe in them, you give them a contract extension or you let them go.
If you really want to put a ring on them. Otherwise, let them go.
And then John Mara says, if we're in the same place next year we are now,
right.
I'm going to be really upset, which suggests that if they win 3-4 games, they're going to be out of a job.
Absolutely. You're going to start all over again.
So now they're going to have to win.
So what happens if they draft a quarterback now and they win 3 games? You're going to bring in a new coach and a new GM that might not even like that quarterback?
That would be complete ignorance. But John Mara said what he said. So if I'm Shane and Dable, I got to win games, right? Now, I keep going back to Indianapolis. Everybody looks at the Indianapolis game as, they won that game. It cost them a higher pick. I look at that game. You remember the game against Indianapolis?
Yeah.
After the game, you remember what Dable said?
Yeah, if we had quarterback play.
Right. So now they're thinking, if we get ourselves a decent quarterback and we've got some room under the cap, we make some moves, we might be able to win 7-8 games and keep our job, which I'm fine with because I'm sick and tired of just losing. You know how I feel about tanking. But you got to believe in the young quarterback. If you don't believe in either of these two, then you don't draft them. But if you believe in them, then you've got to give them the best chance to succeed. A, by having a veteran quarterback mentor them. And also, you're going to have to make sure that the regime stays so you're not blowing it up on this kid in year 2.
Are you okay if it's Rodgers?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I am too, but it kind of sickens you and tells you how desperate they are because you saw exactly what happened on the other side of the stadium.
But
he ruined everything he touched.
Because they handed him everything and said, please win us a Super Bowl. All the Giants are going to do is give him an opportunity nobody else is willing to give him. And then you just mentor our young quarterback and go out there and play. Like, how could he dictate policy? Wouldn't you laugh at him if he did? I mean, he hasn't done anything over the last 2 years. If he comes in here and says, I want Adams, I want Lazard, I want this, I want that. If you're Shane and Mara, wouldn't you just say, shut up and play? You're lucky to be in the NFL.
I think he's in that situation where it's shut up and play. He has to. But he is who he is. He's still going to do McAfee.
I get
He's
it.
still going to give an opinion on everything.
Let me tell you this. Everybody's doing something, right?
Like, but he's special.
But I get it because he's opinionated.
Right.
But really, he's not a bad guy. And it only went off the rails because he got hurt and there was nothing else left to do. I mean, I think that if you can get the play that he had in the second half of the year, and I understand those games were in Florida and it was warmer and it was against not so great competition, but if he's got a little something left, wouldn't you want your young quarterback to watch a future Hall of Famer the way Eli watched Kurt Warner?
I would like that because, one thing that you can't say, he did take care of Jordan Love. Brett didn't take care of him.
No.
But he learned from that and actually was good to Jordan Love. But we'll see. But, does he want to play a year? Does he want to play 2 more years?
How could he
But the only reason that you would even get into bed with somebody who was so disruptive in many, many ways is because you're desperate. Because they have to win or go home.
Yeah, and I get the whole tanking thing, but I do think at some point you got to start being a respectable franchise.
A lot of people said, well, it's good if they win only 2 or 3. Maybe they get Arch Manning. Really? Is that the way you're thinking? You want another 2-win season? There's some Giant fans that might not be alive in 2026.
You're starting to damage the brand. I mean, both these franchises.
Absolutely.
I had this conversation with so many people. Why do you think there are so many Cowboy fans and Dolphin fans and Raider fans in New York? because for decades in the 70s,
They stunk.
the Giants and Jets were awful.
Right.
And now I can have the Sunday ticket. I can watch any team. Why do I have to every Sunday sit and watch two garbage football teams play? It seems like it's outrageous, but you don't think that that's going to carve into the fan base to see this kind of pap year in, year out?
Absolutely. I mean, my kid's 10, my son. It killed him when Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles. Killed him. And then to watch him in the Super Bowl, I hate the Giants for letting him go. And he hates Saquon Barkley. But that's how a young person. So he might say, listen, I want to root for whatever.
You know what's killing me? You know why I want the Giants to win? I live in Central Jersey.
Right.
Marco goes to school with Eagle fans. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. He's becoming an Eagle
The Jets
fan.
have just agreed to a 2-year deal with Justin Fields.
All right, that makes sense.
2-year, $40 million deal includes a $30 million guarantee, according to Aaron Schefter.
He's got the relationship with Wilson. He wasn't talking to the Steelers. Now, this is what's interesting. The Steelers have to get a quarterback.
They might get Rodgers, or they might bring back Russell Wilson.
They might bring back Russell Wilson because Metcalf didn't go there to have nobody throw him the football.
Right.
Probably didn't go there to have him Fields throw him the football either. So is it Wilson or Rodgers? And now with Darnold going to Seattle, and we knew he wasn't going back to Minnesota, does Rodgers go to Minnesota? Or do they hand it over to J.J. McCarthy? I think they're just going to give it to McCarthy because they think.
Can
they
you
can do
imagine if
anything with a
he goes
quarterback.
to Minnesota, though? I mean, the exact same route.
Wouldn't it be
as
crazy?
Brett Favre.
It would be crazy. And Darnold for less than $37 million a year.
But people seem to ignore the way Darnold finished. That reminded me of Jet Darnold.
I get it, but that whole team, they didn't block for him. That team, that doesn't the team
same
take
team
the hit?
he did great for 16 games, though.
But we don't blame the coaching staff for spitting the bit. We don't blame all the other players on the team, the offensive line. They went up against what was it? Yeah, the Detroit twice. It was clearly a better team, and they completely wet the bed. But the whole team did. But only Sam takes the hit. Listen, do I think he's an MVP quarterback? No. But, Michael, it's less than $37 million a year.
Yeah.
The guy's going to go out there and throw me 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. The Giants are paying Daniel Jones $40 million a year to do half of what Darnold did last year.
I want to show you something before you go to your meeting. You're the OG here. You're the first voice ever. Look what I got today. Did you get this?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay,
Troy
this
hit
is something
me
that you
up.
would like.
No, it's really nice.
Yeah, I could see you wearing this.
I like the swag. And it's got 880 on it? Or
No, ESPN New York. So in case
It's
there's
very
another
fluid.
in case there's another
It's-
change,
I-
you're not locked in.
People don't know that when we were on Yes, there was many different outfits I was forced to change because it didn't have the right frequency.
I had to get rid of the 1050 shirt. I had to get rid of the 98.7 shirt. But 880, I think we're locked in. But this says ESPN New York, so we're good.
I feel really good about everything right now.
Yeah, looks.
And I wasn't sure.
You weren't sure about the place, or
I said to Nancy, this is going to be a turning point walking into this office.
right?
I'm either going to be completely disgusted or thrilled. There's never any medium with me, right? Or,
No,
or this
you're
place,
black
anyway.
or white, never gray.
And
except your hair.
I'm over the top.
Wow.
I'm over the top.
I saw
positive.
you sitting because I could see now out into the room. You seem very relaxed.
I've seen
I thought you were
people-
going to light up a blunt. You look so
no,
relaxed.
I don't partake. A cigar, maybe. I mean, no, I had one a decade. I dream about cigars like most people dream about women.
Just do it.
Why are you an enabler?
Because you're not going to do the woman.
Well, I just said but cigars. Well, women can be bad for you too. I guess if it's the wrong women. But cigars are bad. I got kids now. I got to think of my health.
Okay, you look terrific.
Thank you.
Their show is coming up at 3. It's Don Hahn and Rosenberg. All three will be in the studio. It's going to be wonderful. I'll be listening, and you should be as well.